Afternoon with Kate Cypress and Marcus McGhee, who returns to action at LFA 135 on July 8th. Marcus, how are you?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm good. I'm very happy to be talking with you. Dude, you're 14 days out. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling like I can't wait to get to fight night. Those last 14 days is always I wouldn't say tougher part, but it's always the home run. So I'm feeling great though. Excited to get there, excited to show out for LFA. So 14 days comes fast.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, making your LFA debut, how's that feel?
That feels great. I honestly thought I would have fought for them by now, but it just never lined up. So it feels pretty surreal for it to be LFA 135, and I'm fighting at 135, and it's my first fight for them. So everything's supposed to happen how it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of just lines up perfectly, dude. But before we get to your fight, I wanted to touch on your first round knockout that happened last month. How did you feel about that performance?
I felt good about it. I feel like it was pretty quick. So I mean, everybody's got a puncher's chance. So you catch somebody, but I felt good. I feel like I was in. I had my laser sights on. I knew what I wanted to do, and I went out there and I did it. So it felt good to accomplish that. I felt composed. I felt really good. Obviously you want to get cage time as much as possible, but we don't get paid by the hour either. So I'll take I'll take the easy night.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was kind of a lengthy layoff between that fight and your previous fight. And then you were scheduled two other times. What happened with those fights?
Just matchups. I think that the matchups weren't really the best matchups to start with, and then on top of that, I think that I got the guys took the fight and then didn't take the fight, and then trying to get the fights on short notice. A lot of people don't want to fight on short notice because getting to 135 is one thing, but then taking a guy on who's already ready to fight. So I mean, I understand that aspect of it. So I think it was just that, take kind of getting a bad matchup where it shouldn't have kind of been a matchup. We should have been looking for somebody else, and then also coming up on the fight and not having somebody to take the short notice fight.
Gotcha. For anybody does not know your story, how did you get into mixed martial arts?
So I've been into martial arts my whole life. We didn't really have money growing up or anything, so I pretty much just was self-taught a lot. I always practiced and worked out and did whatever I can. I've always considered myself a martial artist. And then when I was 18, I started doing Wing Chun, which kind of like really got me more into like the spiritual side of it and like more of the body hardening, all that stuff. And then from there, I started trying to get into the military, which led me to an MMA gym, which was at the time it was really a boxing gym, LA Boxing. But there's Shannon Rich was hosting MMA fights there, or was hosting fights for UCFC, and he got me a fight. So I was like, all right, well, let's see what these kung fu skills will work. Would work.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah, because I was looking through your I think I remember your last amateur fight was for Iron Boy like in 2018, correct?
Yes.
So, but and then I was going back through your record, and so you started in 2012, and then 2014, and then like in 2015, and then there was a big gap between 2015 and 2018. What happened right there?
So a bunch of stuff happened right there. Obviously, I have 4 children and a wife, and I was working a lot. So I was working 56-hour weeks, and I actually got into a car accident that year, and which was a roller car accident and a
Jeez.
crazy car accident. So I was messed up from the car accident, and then I went on a snowboarding trip, and then got my arm cut open. So all my tendons in my arm got cut open too. So, so with that, and it was just all this craziness happening, and the whole time I'm still in and out of the gym training, and just not being able to take fights. But it was kind of crazy.
Dude, that's fucking nuts. So then you turned pro in 2020, and then the fucking pandemic happens. How frustrated were you with that?
I was pretty frustrated, but I didn't really let it affect me. Like I guess I didn't think about it at the time. And now that I think about it, it's kind of like, man, that's 2 years that went by that I couldn't get a fight going. Now I'm 32 years old, so it's like I'm just 4-0. I'm still trying to get this traction going. I'm finally fighting in a bigger organization, which is LFA. So it was I could say it was frustrating, but I guess I never I never really looked back on it and was upset about it because I just utilized it for what it was, a time for me to hone in and practice my skills and, learn myself more and be a better teammate and just focus on the things that I absolutely could control.
Yeah, absolutely. How'd you end up at the lab?
It was called the LA Boxing, and then they switched to being the UFC gym, right? So when it became the UFC gym, a lot of the guys from the lab would teach there. Tim Welch would come there, Sean would come there. Like a couple of our guys would go over there. Randy Stanky was always in and out. And at the time, I was training with a coach his name is Aaron Favors, and he trained at Siege for a while, but I just trained with him. I never trained at Siege, and he was like my coach at the time, and I was going in and out of the UFC gym, and then I ended up fighting on Duel for Domination, and a couple of the lab guys fought in that card too, and I just remember John Crouch being standing there right before I went out there and knocked this guy out, and it just felt like right. And me and my buddy Talon, who we both went over there the same day together, we both just talked about it. We were like, hey man, like we love our coach, we loved him too, but we needed a bigger pool to jump into. And the lab provided that for us. And then on top of that, something just felt right in that chemistry. I'm really big about chemistry and intuition and all that stuff. And I'm sitting there getting ready. I'm hitting the wall, and John Crouch is just sitting there looking at me like, and I was like, yep, I want to fight under you. I want to be under you. So.
Gotcha. Awesome. That's awesome. All right. So LFA 135, man. How's it feel to fight on UFC Fight Pass and then also fighting in Arizona?
That's pretty sweet, honestly. I get to have my fans be around, and I get to fight on UFC Fight Pass. That's a win-win, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't have mind fighting somewhere else. I'd love to fight somewhere else. I haven't fought anywhere else yet. I've went and cornered other people in other places, but I haven't went to go fight anywhere else, which I love traveling and doing that too. It just, again, opportunities never really presented themselves for me to do it. So it'll be good to travel, but it's pretty awesome to be able to debut in Arizona and in front of the home crowd. So I'll take it.
Absolutely. What was your family and friends' reaction when they found out that you're going to be on UFC Fight Pass in Arizona?
I heard a little bit about it, and my management was talking to me about it. But a couple of my brother-in-law first, he is the man. He can figure out anything. He sent me the day that I found out, before I even got a chance to tell anybody, he sent me a link showing that I was on the card. And he was like all geeked up about it. It was pretty cool. And then a couple of my friends were like, yeah, this is the venue you need to be on, and yada yada. Everybody's pretty excited about it. More so just for me to make a quick turnaround, because keeping active has been the hardest thing, and I love some activity. I really do love to fight, and I just want to be out there and compete.
Awesome. All right, well, let's talk about it. Rafael, man, how you like this matchup? It's tough. He's 6-1. How you like it?
I like it a lot. He's tough. I definitely think I'm not doubting him at all. He's not coming out here to lose. At first, I thought he was coming from Brazil, and finally I found out who he was because I couldn't find any information on him really at first. I didn't know you had to look under militia. So I finally found some stuff on him, and he's training out of California and everything. He's definitely a tough game gym, and he's a tough guy. Hasn't been finished, has multiple finishes, and then, he has a bigger record than me. But he's not tough. I mean, I fought guys like him already. I've already fought guys like that, and Roddy Madala and Rafael Montini, those have been my last guys that came out against. So I'm going to go in there with the same confidence that I have the tools to put this man away. I just have to go out and enjoy myself, do what I do, and also, pick my shots. So, and then, play my game and not play his game, So I definitely think he's a tough guy. I think he holds a lot of dangers. He looks like he has a big right hand. It looks like he has good double leg, good top pressure. But I'm bringing all the heat, I'm bringing heat. So he better be ready to be in the barn burner because I know I am.
At the end of the day, July 8th, how do you get your hand raised?
Knockout. I'm coming to knock him out, and I'm gonna say it's like cliche, right? It's cliche, but like I'm coming to knock guys out. That's what I want to do. I want to knock people out, and this is what we get to do for fun and also for what we get to do for our work too. But like it sounds crazy, but I just like that feeling, So I'm coming to knock him out. If it goes further than that, then they're gonna say that was a great fight. That was one of the greatest fights that we've seen. Because that's what I'm kind of. I want fireworks, and I know he's gonna bring fireworks. So it's super exciting for me. You know.
How important is it for you to keep your 100% finish rate?
I wouldn't say it's that. I don't really hold that much importance on it. I really don't. Like, if I don't get a finish rate, then it's like not gonna hurt my ego. You know, it's not. But the other side of me is just like I know that's. I gotta keep telling myself I'm coming in here to finish guys. Like that's what I'm gonna from bell to bell. I'm gonna train that way. I'm gonna train hard. I'm gonna train to look for my shots. I'm gonna train to find these shots, and I'm gonna put guys away. You know, and that's always the plan. But again, if it does go to the full 17 minutes, I just want people to be like, what did we just witness? You
Good.
know, what did we just witness? That was insanity, you know?
Gotcha. Awesome, man. Well, finally, what do you want the rest of your year to look like, man? You want to get you said you want to stay active. Are you hoping to hop on another LFA card, maybe travel? Like, what do you want your year to look like?
Yeah, I want to stay active. Like, if I can get 2 or 3 more fights this year, that'll be the ideal, you know? That'd be ideal. So the plan is to go out here and knock this guy out, whether it be first, second, or third. Hopefully do it without getting any injuries whatsoever, so I can get back to training. And then try to line up something else in the LFA, or if any other bigger opportunities come along as well, jump on those opportunities. You know, I know Dana White's Contender Series is coming up, and 5-0 guys have been picked up before. So if they call me for something like that, I'd be interested in something like that. I want to fight. I just want to fight. I want to fight. I want to fight good guys, but also, I want to build something. I know I'm just a young guy in the sport still. I might be 32, but I'm 4-0. I have a lot of work to do, and I'm looking forward to putting that work in. You know.
Awesome. Marcus, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, brother. If you want to plug your social media, plug any sponsors, you want to thank anybody, the floor is yours.
All right, definitely. So Iridium Sports Agency, they've been, holding it down for me for 2 years. I really appreciate them. Also the MMA Lab, also got shot them out. My brother is over there. Mario Batista's fighting tomorrow. He's gonna kill it. Sugar Sean and Killer Gorilla are fighting next weekend. Gorilla's taking the belt home, so that'd be great. And then also just my sponsors, G4, also Bloom Yellow Bottles, Trinity, Don Tattoo. These companies have just been supporting me throughout this whole this whole thing. It really helps a lot because again, we don't make a whole lot to do this at first. We just do it out of love and the dream to get to the bigger stage. So it's always great to have big companies like that supporting.